Hello. So in this module, there will be 3 mini recordings to assist you to do your field study. So module 8 is about observation skills, and you're going to use your observation skills also in module 10 field study. But the first thing first, we have to know what is observation. So as I have shared this with you in our class, when we look at the word observe from the Cambridge Online Dictionary, we get the definition that we have to watch carefully the way something happens or the way someone does something, especially in order to learn more about it. So you can see that you really need to focus on your target child, or in module 10, when you focus on the child and then the staff. And we do observation in order to learn something important from them, which will be the child development. There are 2 ways of doing our observation. One is called non-participant, and the other one is the participatory observation. So I'm going to use the historical photo of Montessori. So you see that when Dr. Montessori sits in the corner, she wasn't involved in any of the activities with the children. And that's what we call that she's doing the non-participant observation, which allowed her to observe the children objectively. But of course, you'll see that in a daycare, if we keep doing the non-participant or non-participatory observation, then we cannot really do our job, right? So most of the time that we have to do the participatory observation, which means that we still interact with a child. So you'll see that in this module, I highly suggest that you use anecdotal record, which will be a participatory observation. So you can interact with the child throughout all the routines. And then after the activity, you can write down your record. As we said, everyone will watch something with our eyes, but also with our brain. And in our brain, we have all the different past experiences that will affect what we see. And this picture probably will remind you. So remember in a class, we watch carefully, observe very carefully the picture on this little bottle. And all of you said the picture showed 2 lovers. But till later, with lots of clues and reminders, you guys figure out actually you can see all the dolphins as well. So you'll see that we all have our biases because we have a personal experience or cultural experience, our religious experience. All of these experiences are going to affect what we see. So remember this, then you will be aware that in a daycare, when you observe a child or you observe a staff, that you have to guard against your possible biases. Do not let them block your way of objective observation. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the analysis. So we are not observe children just for the sake of observation. We observe the children because we want to do our job better. So here, we have to learn how to do analysis and how to apply our observation in our job. And this is basically in our field study. That's the 3 important questions that you have to answer. Okay. The first one is interpret, which means that you have to explain to me. So if you have observation record, when you get to the analysis part, you should be able to use ELECT, early learning for every child today, using the developmental knowledge to connect the child's behavior to the development. Say that if you see a child using the whole hand grasping of a, say, a marker or a pencil, then you should be able to talk about the fine motor development. Okay, so ELECT will be the only resource that I ask you to connect to. And then you should be able to use ELECT to explain all the behaviors that you have observed and recorded in your observation record. The next step, if now you understand the children's behavior, understand their development, now as a teacher, as an ECA or as an ECE, you have to be able to support your child. So in your field study, you have to remember, what's your goal, right? Is it because of this goal that you're going to observe a child? So you have to remember your goal. And your goal is related to a very specific domain and some or one skill, okay? So you're gonna explain to me in your field study analysis part, your strategies to support this child. So say that you observe the fine motor skills, then what kind of materials are you going to put in the environment to help the child to further develop the fine motor skills? Or what kind of activities that you're going to set up for this child? Or is there any interaction strategies that's needed to support this child? Say that you observe a child that's so quiet and he or she does not get involved in lots of group activities, then ask yourself what kind of a guidance strategy that you're gonna apply and help this child to feel secure enough to join the group activities or to promote his or her peer interaction skills. So this is the support that I like to see in your analysis part. Then you'll see that in NACC, they also ask you to communicate. Yes, so in a real life, if you work in a daycare, when you have done your observation, you may communicate with your coworkers. So both of you are going to be stay at the same page. At the same time, that you also may share your observation results with the parents, so parents can support a child from the family background, and while you can support the child inside the daycare. And that's it. Bye for now.